Shalom, friends. This is Jonathan Feldstein. You don't see me yet. I'll try and turn that around in a little bit, but I don't want to show you me right now. I want to show you where I am, tell you a little biblical story and connect it here to modern Israel, and offer you something really exciting that I wasn't planning on doing today. So I'm in central Israel, a little further south and west of Jerusalem, in a valley. Let me turn around and show you. I'm in the middle of the valley, more or less. There's some taller, I wouldn't know if they're mountains yet, but certainly good-sized hills around me. I could climb up to the top of them, but it would take longer, and I have to get home to get ready for Shabbat. But we're in the middle of a valley, and it's a famous valley, famous biblically, historically. It's also beautiful and pastoral and scenic. And typically, this is a place where a lot of tourists will come and visit. This is the Elah Valley. As you know from your Bible, the Elah Valley is where David fought and slew Goliath, the giant, the enemy. And what's incredible is I have a friend, I drive through here somewhat often. Today I had the privilege of driving my son back to his army base, which is further south and west of here. So we came through here, and on the way, it's funny, I had two associations. Immediately I thought of my friend Chris, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I thought of my friend Chris, and I also thought of the movie Bug's Life, where the scene where the ant tries to get the little princess to look at a rock and think of it as a seed, and the princess kept saying, "It's a rock, it's a rock." So what's significant, what's famous here in the Elah Valley is that King David used rocks like these to take down Goliath, the giant. And as I'm driving my son in his uniform with his M16 propped up next to the door of the car, driving him back to the base, I realized that these were David's enemy weapons of the time. And something like this, I don't know, how big a rock does one need to have in order to take out a giant? And how big was the giant? I don't know. But metaphorically, I look at my son in his uniform with his M16 going back to his paratrooper base, and I realize, wait a minute, we're the David. We're the little people. We're a relatively small country, and we have relatively fewer people. But our neighbors, the Arab, the terrorists, those who hate us, those who want to kill us and destroy us, like Goliath, they're the giants. They're bigger, they're more numerous. And yet, miraculously through God's providence, through his promise that he will continue to protect the land and the people of Israel, miraculously, we are able to continue to be the David, to protect ourselves. And whether it's a weapon like a rock, or whether it's a weapon that's a modern M16 or something of that nature, it's really quite incredible. So my friend Chris asked me a few weeks ago, "Jonathan, could you go down to the Elah Valley and find some rocks that we can have in our home and have a little bit of biblical history right here in our own home?" So it's been a while. I haven't been here, but I was excited to drive through here, and I thought of my friend Chris, and I thought of Bug's Life, and I thought of the combination, of course, of the biblical and modern history of this incredible piece of land, this beautiful, serene valley. And I realized, wait a minute, I'll stop in, I'll grab some rocks for Chris, and I do have two hands, I can pick up a few more rocks, and that would be really special for me to share with Christian friends all around the world, but also as an offer. And I don't know what it is yet, because rocks are heavy, and it's not kind of normal or typical to be sending rocks through the mail, but I do want to offer you this. Make a comment here, or contact us at genesis123.co, and we're going to find a way to get you a rock. I'm going to ask you to make a modest donation to cover the cost of shipping and whoever I have to have put these things together. I'm going to ask you to join me in a donation that will bless us, that will bless Israel and the land and the people. And maybe we'll dedicate that money, since we're in a biblical battlefield, essentially, maybe we'll dedicate that money to helping soldiers, to provide comfort, and with Hanukkah coming, maybe we'll do something to provide some more festivity for the soldiers who are guarding our border. But I just wanted to stop and make that offer here. I'm gonna check and see how much these guys weigh. No one is the same. There's some that are a little bit bigger. There's some that are a little smaller, some that are more rounded, some that are more smooth, some are a little bit more jagged. But I'm wondering to myself, how many rocks, or what size rock rather, does it take to take out a giant? And I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer, but I do know that with your prayers and with your support and with your blessing Israel, this is something that you can be part of. We're not going to be providing weapons to the soldiers. We're not going to be arming anybody, but we will provide the comfort. We will say thank you to the soldiers. And obviously this is impulsive, and I'm working through the whole idea as I speak to you right now. But I hope and pray that you'll see this, that it will interest you, that it might even excite you. And leave a message here, or send a message through genesis123.co, or our email, gen123fdn, gen123fdn @gmail.com. And let's figure out how we can get some of these rocks to you and anyone who you know who will find it of interest. And for those celebrating Christmas coming up, I'm going to do my best to get them to you, to you for Christmas. And it'd be kind of funny. You know, there's a joke that people who aren't good get a lump of coal in their stocking. Well, I think it'd be pretty funny to give somebody a rock for Christmas and not explain what it is. And then once they say, "Why are you giving me a rock?" explain to them that this is a rock from the biblical battlefield where David killed Goliath. And this is a piece of the land here for you to connect personally. I hope that's meaningful. God bless you.